So good morning, my name is Beth. I'm one of the graduates from the Davies group. I'm just going to talk briefly about who we are, how I got into the industry, the graduate role itself, what I enjoy thoroughly about this role, few of the top tips as well about how to get into the insurance industry. So we are the Davies group. Originally a firm of property loss adjusters who were established back in the 1960s. However, over time, the insurance industry changed, and so did we. So now we cover liability, property, and motor-based claims, and are one of the top claims management companies and loss adjusting firms in the UK. And currently we have more than 800 employees across the nation who manage an average of 140,000 claims per annum and roughly £1 billion worth of insurers' money. So just a little bit about myself and how I entered the claims management industry. I'm a law graduate, currently finishing my legal practice course. My final results, in fact, are due in this Monday coming, so wish me luck. In 2014, Davies partnered with my University Staffordshire and began advertising the graduate scheme to students across the business and law schools. At the same time, I was working full-time as a manager, which wasn't really challenging me anymore. So I was looking for a new venture that would bring me a bit closer to the path that my degree was directing me in, a solicitor. And then Davies seemed to fit that quite well. Now, applying to Davies was more than just an interview. We had an application form and it ended with an interview with a formal presentation. These were two stages that I felt relatively quite confident in due to my previous managerial position. However, I'd never done a telephone interview before and I had never attended an assessment day before. So in preparation, cheesy as this may be, I actually sought the help of my university careers service to help me through. They gave me the tips that I needed to get me through my telephone interview, such as get dressed up, don't be in your PJs, look in the mirror, and prepare with post-it notes like there's no tomorrow. I later actually found out that I got a great score in the telephone, one of the highest, in fact, so thank you very much, Career Service. In the assessment day, however, that I realised just how much I wanted to work for Davies. Rather than just another notch on my employment belt on my route to becoming a solicitor, I actually just wanted to work for Davies, full stop. The colourful office, the friendly people, and endless opportunities to develop were enough to sway me away from the legal industry. And once recruited, we were treated to a week-long induction to Davies, which set the scene for what was expected both of us and also what we could expect of the scheme itself. So the actual graduate role, over the last 10 months, I've done a huge variety of things. When we were sent out what we needed to speak about today, we were asked to think about our typical day or a typical week. And this is incredibly difficult for me because there really is nothing typical about Davies at all. In fact, my first 2 months, I was a liability claims handler in Stoke. My third month, I was a liability loss adjuster, not quite the one who put the wellies on, but certainly the ones who go out and visit anyway, travelling from Birmingham and Harrogate to investigate claims. The following 5 months, I worked in our Stoke office again in a small team of 4 alongside my other graduate colleagues, with a focus to progress the claims that arose out of the winter storms from Cumbria, etc. So we moved from when policyholders were first hit by the floods and they were flooded out and lost everything, and helped to work through these claims to move them back into their homes where they were safe again. Last month, I worked with our surveying team down in sunny Southampton, we're looking at ways to improve and streamline the service and how they handle claims. And now currently, I'm working with our business analysis unit on a big project that holds quite a big responsibility across the entire company, and it hasn't even been 12 months yet. Our second year, we will be spent in an area where we want to start our career in, whether that's directly in the role we see ourselves in, or in a role that will help us to get to that role we aspire to be in. which at the moment our manager Jo is holding those cards quite close to her chest right now. What's more, alongside our placements, we have attended events such as networking. Well, I've attended a networking event for women in the insurance industry, and an opportunity to network with one of our clients too. Alongside this, we were also expected to complete our professional qualifications, of which I'm happy to say that I've already passed my first qualification in insurance. Thank you very much. So what do I actually enjoy? And this may be cheesy, and I apologize. The short answer is everything. I really thoroughly enjoy working for Davies. I enjoy the variation available working in the industry itself. What I mentioned before is only a hint of what I have achieved in the last 10 months, as there are so many job opportunities available with eye-opening experiences just thrown in for good measure. Since working at Davies and working in the industry itself, I've been given the best opportunity to discover what type of employee that I am, whether I prefer a customer-facing role, data entry, surrounded by a team at a desk, or perhaps out in the field by myself. And what makes this opportunity even more enjoyable is the support that surrounds you when you work for Davies. Every step of the way on the graduate scheme, there has been someone to turn to for guidance, to advise, share experiences, and help to develop us further than what we had anticipated. It truly makes being a Davies person quite wonderful. So now I'm just going to list a few of the skills that I believe would be essential to get into the roles to get into the industry itself. The first one is a willingness to learn and develop. Learning shouldn't stop when you finish education, regardless of which tier you finish in. The desire to learn and absorb others' experiences will make you a much more rounded individual. Teamwork. Regardless of whether you are a lone wolf or not, you will be working in a team at some point, even if you don't see them every day. Confidence. It's important to be confident in yourself and your own abilities. So being able to say, I don't know, could you explain this, is just as, if not even more important, as knowing exactly what to do from the off. Organisation and time management, something I like to pride myself quite highly on, is work, qualifications, and personal life can be quite difficult to juggle at times. So it's important to find that balance and manage your time effectively. And being able to adapt to change. Each placement that we start is a new beginning, new faces, new system, new processes. So it's important to be able to deal with these situations as and when they arise. And finally, I'm just going to finish on my personal top tips for your students about how to get into the industry. Source their skills. Most of the skills that I value are ones that I've acquired for myself from activities, employment, or practical experiences way outside of my degree itself. Secondly, to look beyond the typical career their degree sets out for them. My choices originally being a law student were solicitor, barrister, or as a backup plan, a paralegal. Claims management never really crossed my mind before Davies came along. Be bold. Ask questions, take risks, and ask for opportunities, as it may lead to other things, even if it's small. Accept that this is not a 9-to-5 job, and it can be a job that works just as hard for you in return, or for them in return. And also, again, I apologize for the cheesiness, to utilize their career service providers. Some of the tips they gave me during my application stage I would never have thought of, but I'm certain they gave me the confidence I needed to get where I am today. And just to finish off, as mentioned before, prior to working for Davies, I had no idea about the world of insurance beyond insuring my phone and my car. So as careers advisors, I encourage you to talk to your students about the world of insurance and the job opportunities available, as it is one of the biggest markets in Europe. It's ever developing, and you never truly know how exciting it could be until you work in it. Thank you.